Hi everyone, my name is Perla Havate and I would like to welcome you to our new podcast series called Building Bridges, Traditional Cultural Wisdom for Community Peace. In this podcast, the Coalition of Manitoba Cultural Communities for Families will bring together community members to talk about positive peace building in Manitoba. Together, we will explore traditional cultural systems for building peaceful and healthy communities and will examine customary methods of decision-making and conflict resolution. In doing so, our goal is to foster positive peace, reduce tension, and address conflict in both cultural communities and the wider Manitoba society. By tapping into these age-old systems, our podcast and our broader Building Bridges initiatives seek to mend the social fabric, combat racism, hatred, and discrimination, and build more inclusive, healthy, and resilient families and communities in Winnipeg and throughout Manitoba. Striving towards a goal of positive peace is not simply having a community or society where there is an absence of violence and conflict, but rather it is having a community that works towards fostering community well-being, mutual respect, social justice, and equality. Today, we are very pleased to welcome Vanessa Azarias Butariho. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so can we start by you sharing a little bit about yourself, the community you identify with, and when you arrived in Canada?
My name is Vanessa Azarias Butariho. I'm coming from Rwanda community. I came to Canada in 2007, and at the same time, I'm working at J.E.D.I housing, helping newcomers to Canada to find apartment for rent.
That's really good. Can we start by you reflecting a little bit about the ways you would resolve conflicts in your home country?
In our home country, the way we resolve conflict is we have elders in the community. So elders come together and they sit, they hear both parties. Now they can resolve the conflict, they can advise on what to do. Sometimes it can be elders elected within the community, or it can be elders from the church, elders from any social group. So they sit together, they listen to both parties, and they give advice. And those elders are respected in the community. They are really respected in the community, and they have no biases. They try to help the community. This is their mandate, to help the community.
You mentioned about your informal way of dealing with conflict. I'm just wondering if in your community there is a formal way of addressing conflicts, an institution.
Yes, in our communities, we have structures to address the conflict. For example, if we have a conflict, it can be either within family or within people from different families, or any conflict.
Okay.
So we usually have our community elders. We have our community leaders. We have the church members.
Okay.
We have those elders in the community, even the youth leaders. So whenever there is a problem, a conflict in our community, elders meet. They invite the people who are concerned within the conflict, and they hear about the conflict, and using the skills they have from back home, using this resilience, the strength they brought with them. Now, because we know our culture, we know our culture, we know our traditions, we know our norms. So we sit together, we solve the problem, and this really bring peace in families or community, in our community.
Yeah. And now that you're here in Canada with your community and having that as a way of resolving conflicts, how do you find it, the transitioning here to Canada with the way our society deals with conflicts?
The way I see it here in Canada, the transition is not easy. It's not easy, but we are still doing almost the same in our communities. Elders are still sitting together.
Okay.
Yeah, they are still resolving the conflict within the community. Without our elders, it will be very, very difficult.
Okay.
Also, our elders, as I said, elders in the community, our leaders, yeah, our church leaders, mosque. So we sit together and we solve the problem, we solve the conflict. Yeah. Though it is not easy with the Canadian system, but people in the community still need elders in the community. Yeah. It takes time. It takes time. They can sit for hours and hours,
Right.
discussing a topic, discussing a conflict. Yeah. And when they give a solution, when they resolve the conflict, people are at peace.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. You know, just wondering because with the system we have here, where people resort to going to counselors, mediators, and sometimes they have to face the judicial system. So when that happens, how does your community deal with it?
You know, for example, I have one lady in my community. She went to a counselor. She was told, oh, you have this problem, go to a counselor. She went to the counselor. She had a conversation with the counselor, and when she came out, she came to see me. She said, oh, really, I didn't benefit from my visit to the counselor. She told me the best counselors are community leaders because they trust the community leaders. There is this element of trust. They trust the community leaders, and if they go to the counselor, they see it as a way of working, of a job. But within the community, these are their people, and they trust them. They can even talk openly.
Right.
They talk about their issues, even their secret. They can reveal their secrets. But with the counselors, they are not open. There is this element of trust, which is not there. But once they come to the community, we live with them. They know us. We know each other. So now there is trust, and they are open to share their personal issues. And of course, they know there is this element also of confidentiality.
Right.
When we sit, we try to solve a problem. We don't go outside and say, oh, this person is this, it is like this, it's like this. We continue and we keep confidentiality.
That's right. Okay.
And people trust the community leaders, the community elders.
Right.
But going to counselors or sometime going to the judiciary, in fact, it doesn't solve conflict. It harms, it brings more harms in the community, more harms.
Yes. Okay.
Instead of solving the problem, you are bringing more harms to the family. Yeah.
Okay.
But if the government should really trust the community elders, and work together, it will bring a lot of peace in our communities. Yeah.
That's one of the big challenges we have as newcomers in this country, because the system here may not be as effective to our communities, but there are a lot of things in place funded by government ready to help out supposedly our new communities. Do you see that happening sometime in the future?
This is what we are hoping. We are hoping that the government should work closely with the community elders. They have to recognize our strengths. The community leaders, they are coming from back home with their strength, with their ways of solving conflict. So we are hoping that the government could really work closely with the community leaders and hear the community leaders, hear what they say, recognize their strength in problem solving.
Right.
And we really want this to happen. Yeah.
That's true.
In the near future.
In the near future.
Yes.
So we still have to work on it, right?
Yes, we have really to talk to the government until they really recognize the strength of the community, until they speak to the community leaders and work closely with the community leaders. This will bring a lot of peace in our communities. A lot of conflicts will be resolved, because even now they are resolving many problems, many conflicts in the community, those elders. Yes.
How big is your community now?
My community is not too big. We have around 700 people around there. It's a small community, yeah, around 700, 800 people. I have not done the census, the statistics,
right,
but
okay.
It's around there.
Okay. So can you describe a time when you felt vulnerable or unsafe within your family or community, and how it shaped your understanding of safety and peace?
So one time, vulnerable, when I came to Canada, so for example, I could not, to integrate in the larger community was not easy. The language, I could not find friends immediately to help me to integrate in the community. The culture shock, all this, I felt really vulnerable and within the minority community. So now I kept on going. Yeah, I tried to find friends. I tried to find people who can help me. And within the community, they really did a great job. Yeah, they really did a great job to help me integrate in the larger community. When I came here, I was alone with 2 children. So, and me with 2 children was not easy. I was really a vulnerable man. And now the community, they came together, they helped me to know different areas and to integrate in the community. I got really big support from the community.
It's really important to have all those, community people coming together and being open in helping out newcomers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very, very important. Because when people are coming, for example, to Winnipeg, they almost know nothing about Winnipeg. Now these people, they come, we speak the same language, we have the same culture, same norms. So we help the new arrivals to integrate, to know better Winnipeg, to know different areas. And it is very, very important. And we want this to be recognized.
And That's why you're in the job that you're doing now in new housing, helping
Yes,
newcomers.
yes. That's
Yes,
why
that.
I'm now giving back to my community now.
Yes.
I'm giving back to my community. I'm teaching them, not only helping them to find apartment for rent, I also teach them about budgeting. I teach them about anger management. Yes, so I have those workshops. Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah.
what specific events or circumstances in your community that disrupted your sense of security, and how these experiences affect you personally?
Or me personally, in terms of security, I was not really offended personally as security matters, but sometimes when we take the bus, for example, or we move around, and people are trying to interfere with me, for example. But now, in the community, within the community, we are really working together. People can go together, maybe two together, or for example, in the winter time, we advise people to go in pairs, two. If one has a problem, another one can help. So all these are, we have arranged this within our communities so that people could be safe wherever they are, and it is helping. It is helping even in terms of safety or security. Yes.
So, among yourselves, you managed to do that. So, individually, you don't usually go around doing your thing. It has
No,
to be.
I go around doing my things.
Okay.
Yeah, now I'm used to the city. I go around doing my own things, and yeah, I'm here now almost 17 years now. So I'm used to it, but it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not secured. It's not easy. My friend, last time when he was working at the Fox, for example, he had a phone in the hand. Somebody came and took the phone and ran away.
Like that. So what do you think are triggers that makes you unsafe or your community feeling unsafe?
So, for example, people in my community, we are the minority. This is one. And people we see around, maybe we don't share the same values or the same understanding. So it can really trigger our safety, and people can they may feel that they are not safe. But we want people to be safe, and we want people to be secured. Of course, there are those institutions, the police, and people can call, but people in our community also, we do our part. We work together to make sure that people are secured and are safe in the community. For example, I said people may work together. There may be two or three.
Yeah, they work in pairs. That's
yeah,
one.
In pairs, yeah, it is one. Yeah, or we advise people, you have to have contacts of people in the community. Whenever you have a problem, just call. Call your friend, call the community leaders, inform them what is going on. Then they can come and help you.
How about with kids and families?
Families also, kids and families, there is this problem of intergeneration. The parents, the way they integrate, the way they see things, and the younger generation, the children, sometimes it brings conflict in the community, in the family, within the family. Yeah, so now, first of all, the families sit together. If they cannot solve their problems, they cannot feel safe, then they engage the community leaders or the community elders or the church leaders, as I said. So now we try to sit together to reconcile within a family the parents and the children. There are many problems between parents and children because they don't get at the same time, they don't really feel comfortable, or the way the younger generation, they just take it very quickly. But the elders, the parents, it takes time to understand the system, and this brings the conflict. Even the language, the Canadian system, the culture, it is different.
How are your families adjusting to the culture, the Canadian culture?
So we have elders in the community, elders who know our culture back home, our traditions, our norms back home, and at the same time, they understand the culture, the system here, the Canadian system here. So these elders in the community, they are in between the parents and the children. And now they talk to the parents. They talk to the children because they really understand both cultures, both norms, both traditions, back home and here. So now when they talk to the parents and the children, this brings really peace in the family because they understand and they talk to the parents. As I said, the parents and the children, they really trust those elders in the community. They trust them, and they know what they are telling them is true, and now this brings peace in the family.
Okay. So do you find that a lot of our families, being new in Canada, they have to really get to know the culture so that they can help their children?
It is really very important so that they know the culture here, plus their own culture, marry the two together, and now finding peace in the family. What we need is peace in the family. Yeah, it can be peace of mind. It can be, there are a lot of issues which can bring conflict in the family, not only physical fighting, it can be even financial, spiritual, and a lot of issues. But when now the parents, they understand, or elders understand the culture back home and here, it is really very important. It will bring peace in the families, peace in the community. Peace for me, it's when people are in their families, they feel really secured, not only secured, but they feel happy in their families, they feel respected in their families, they feel comfortable in their family. They have, for example, they have enough food, for example, they have enough security, they have peace of mind, they are not exposed to different problems. It can be financial, as I said, financial, it can be maybe they are not stressed, a lot of stress because of maybe they don't know the rules here, they don't know the laws here, they don't know so many problems. But when they have information, they have a peace of mind, they feel peace in their community, their families. And when peace is in the family, this one now goes to the community. Now the community now will feel at peace because different families are at peace. So when these families are at peace, and now it goes on to the community. Yeah.
So where's your community now at this point in time in terms of peace?
In terms of peace, my community, I can say if I give a percentage, I can say, for example, we are at 60%. Because peace for me is not only there is no war. It can be peace of mind. It can be they don't have a lot of stress. They really enjoy the country, but many people are stressed. Stressed because they don't know the rules, they don't know the laws, they don't know different issues, the language, the culture. We missed our food, so all this brings. It doesn't bring peace within a family or within a person. But now it's almost around 60%.
How else do you think can we improve it?
We really want the government to be involved, to talk to the community, to really recognize the strength of the community leaders, to really recognize those leaders and trust them and work closely with the community leaders. Because these community leaders, they have their own way. We have our own way of resolving conflict. And the community, they trust us. That's why really the government should work closely with community leaders and now see how they can bring peace in the families, in the community.
There are a lot of services in place now in our community that are supposed to meet concerns coming from all the communities, but somehow it's not availed by all the communities. So what should the community do so that there are changes that are done so that services can be meaningful and can be accessed by these communities?
So we need the services really to work again, to work with the communities, to work closely with community elders, community leaders, to hire, for example, some community elders in their system, in their organization, to give them jobs and to let them work with them and really understand, because they understand the culture, they understand the community. So the organizations should work closely with these community leaders. They have to engage them. They have to contact them. They have to talk to them. They have to listen to them, to what they are saying. Okay. Because the community leaders are for the people.
But it's not happening.
It's really not happening.
Okay, so what can your community do
to
effect a change in the system?
Yeah, we can really approach also those organizations. We can let our voice heard from the government. We can talk to the government. We can talk to those organizations. It's not easy. Sometimes it's not easy, but we have to start doing something. Yeah.
Who do you think will be the mover in your community who can make things happen?
We have community leaders.
Okay.
And we have community elders. We have the church leaders. They can take the lead. They can take the lead, talk to the government, talk to those different organizations and tell them, here we live, we are here. Can you recognize us? Can you recognize what we are doing? They are doing a lot of work in the community. And this work is not seen. This is the main problem. They are doing a wonderful work, but the work is not seen. We want this work They are doing it in the community to be seen. They are solving a lot of conflict in the community. For example, between husband and wife. Yeah, a lot of conflict between parents and children. The children among themselves, people among themselves. Community leaders sit together. They are not paid. It is on voluntary. They are volunteers. They sit hours and hours trying to bring peace, trying to bring security within the family or within the community.
So that's the existing situation now. And the government is doing its part in terms of making sure we have established services that can meet all those needs. But it's not happening because there is a gap between the community and the services that are available. So something needs to be done. If they are not coming to you, what should you do? You have several elders, but it has to be a unified effort, do you think?
Yeah,
so that you have one voice that will share that with government.
Yes. Yeah, I think it has to be, we have all of us to come together and work together. The government, they have these structures, and the community is here, so there is a gap. There is no connection between the two. There are no people to fill this gap, so that the government contact the community leaders, work closely with the community leaders.
Right at this moment, there's a status quo where you have the government on one side and the services and the community on the other side. The government is there, but it's not approaching you. What do you do as a community to make sure that that gap is filled up?
Yeah, I really think that the community leaders, community elders, church leaders, we really have to take the move. We have to do something to approach, to engage the government. And we have to talk to the government, and they have to really work closely with the community.
At this time, you're describing your elders as doing their thing, but more on their own and separate. Okay, are you familiar with organizations in the community that can help you, the wider community? We have groups like ACOMI, the Ethnocultural Council, the Coalition of Manitoba Cultural Communities for Families. These are organizations that oversee all the different newcomer communities. So are you familiar with these groups?
Yes, I'm familiar with those groups, and I really wanted those groups to really call upon the community leaders to talk for themselves, and talk to the government. Yes, this ACOMI, for example, they can really engage the community, and the community will talk to the government. They can work with the community leaders, these organizations, and let the community leaders wake up and talk to the government.
Okay, these groups are here to really give assistance to the communities, but it's for the communities to come and approach them and ask for the support that you need.
Yeah, we are happy that these groups are there to give the support to the community leaders. But at the same time, the community leaders, where are they? We have to wake up, and we have to talk to these groups, and let us work together, and we engage the government. By engaging the government, I think something will be done. Peace will come in the families, in the community.
And the first step is?
The first step is community leaders approaching those groups
Coming
and now
together.
come together
First.
and yes,
Yes.
come together and now talk to the government once we are together.
Do you think your community trusts the system?
My community, to some extent. To some extent, we trust the system, but we see somewhere there are a lot of lack, but we believe the system is there to help. But what we don't trust is the system doesn't recognize our strength. They doesn't recognize that we came with our strength, our resilience, we came with our skills. They don't recognize that. And that is where we don't trust the system. They have to trust the system. The way we were doing things back home, people came with their strength, their norm, their culture, and we want the government to trust us. And when they don't trust us, there is this gap always. People don't trust the system, the government, the systems here. Because if the system could work closely with the community, they know, they recognize the strength, then they will be smooth, it will be smoothly.
We have different communities coming to Canada. We have hundreds of them, okay? And each one of them are needing the help of government in meeting their needs. So individually, because at this point in time, the government still is not really aware of all the things that's happening in the different cultural groups. Now that we recognize that the government is there supposedly to help us, but it's not helping us, it's high time we come together and do what we can so that we are heard. But we can only do that if we are doing it together.
Yes.
Right? Because you can go to government, and the government, do you think, will listen to you? Because there are hundreds, again, who are still affected by that.
So I really think that if we go individually to the government, it will not help. It will not help. But when we come together as communities, the way you said, there are different many communities here in Winnipeg. When communities are working isolatedly, individually, it will not help. But when we come together as a community,
Okay, so
our voice will be heard. We are stronger together.
That's right. That's why we have all these umbrella organizations that is ready to help out.
Yes.
So the first step would be, in your community, you have to be together as well.
Yes.
You have to be united.
Yes.
So that's the first work that needs to be done?
Yes, the first which has to be done is within a community. Let us bring peace. Let us be together in our communities, in our families. We are together in the community. Once we are together in the community, we have other communities also. We come together with those communities, those different communities. And now when we come together, now we can have a voice. We can talk to the government. And they will hear us as communities. But we have to be organized.
So to work towards peace, we have to work together.
Yeah, we need peace. We don't need anything else. We need peace and security in our communities. That's why we are appealing to groups or to communities or to families to come together to bring peace in the community, in the family. And now, with the help of the government, we will bring peace in the country.
Okay. So, moving forward, the Rwandan community should come together, organize yourself, make yourself strong, and approach these umbrella organizations to help them gather the voices of the different communities so they can act as your go-between with the government.
This is what we want. We want, as community, Rwanda community, we live in peace. We bring peace in our families, we bring peace in our community. Then now we contact those umbrella organizations, and now together we can go to the government. Together we can talk to the government. And what we need, as I said, is peace. Peace is really number one.
So thank you, Azarias. You know, this has been an interesting conversation about peace, and we're looking forward to a Manitoba and a Canada that is really peaceful. And we start with ourselves, having peace, our families, our communities, and we can live peacefully ever after.
I really agree. I really agree. Peace starts with me. Security starts with me. Then to my family. Then to the community. And together we can enjoy the peace. Yeah, we can enjoy the peace in this country. And when we have peace, we can develop this country. When we have peace, people are working, people are busy, people are working to develop this country. But without peace, nothing can be done. With peace, I believe that everything is possible.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you at our next podcast. Bye for now.